Today I'm going to show you the split ticket functionality within CropEdge, which is a new piece of work that's being worked on right now that's going to be delivered very shortly. So first, a very quick overview. What split ticket functionality is taking a grower account, and if you have the need to be able to split the grower bill between two different or three different or however many different contacts you want at the grower level. So in this situation, you've got ABC Farms that has two brothers that share that farm, and so you would want to split that between Bill and Steve Smith because they're sharing that grower account. Or in a situation where you have a grower that has a farm manager or landlord situation, you could, through this functionality, split that out between the three entities that make up that grower account. And then you can see the end result is you're going to have a grower contact statement that looks very similar to the grower statement, but you have contact listed here, and then you've got the contact name, address, phone number, and email that's listed on the left-hand side on top of the administrative information on the statement. So we're going to do this with 3 steps, and I'm going to demonstrate each one of these today in CropEdge. The first one is you create contacts for that grower. Second step is to distribute the seed from the grower order down to those contacts. And then the third step is generating the statement that you see on the right-hand side. So I'm going to jump into CropEdge and do a demonstration of what this looks like. So within CropEdge, there's going to be a new tab that you're going to see called Billing. So on Grower Business, when you go to your grower landing page, you can see a list of all your growers, and you're going to click on the Billing tab all the way to the right. What that's going to do is going to pull up a list of all of the growers that have existing grower orders in the system. So in this case, this seed advisor has 5 grower orders on the system, and they're all going to show up on the left-hand side in this screen with the grower number. Now, one thing you'll notice is that my split ticket button is grayed out, and that's because I don't have any contacts identified yet. And so I can't split out my ticket yet until I have created new contacts. The other thing I'll point out is the billed amount is what is actually on that grower statement. So Anderson Farms grower statement has $40,283.43 on the grower statement itself. And that's going to come into play later when we start adding contacts and we start separating that out between the contacts. So at this point, what I'm going to do is click on Edit Contacts, because that's my first step in this process, is to create contacts. And that's going to pull up a screen of my contacts. And since I don't have any contacts created yet, it's going to be blank. And I'm going to click on the button that says Add Contact. That's going to pull up a new line where I can create a new contact under this grower. I'll just create myself. You can enter in administrative information. The first name and last name are the only required fields in this process. But obviously, if you don't enter any other information in here, that's not going to show up on the contact statement once you get to that point. And then the relationship to the grower, your options are self, family member, partner, farm manager, landlord, tenant, and other. So you can add in any number of relationships here. And if I wanted to add a second contact, I would just click on the Add Contact again, and that would pull up another contact line. And you can just enter in the information as you need, and you can enter in as many as you need to. So once I've entered my contacts in, I'm going to click on the Save button, and that's going to save them into the database under my contacts. And now if I click on the Back button, when I go back to the dashboard screen, I'm going to see the 2 contacts that I've just created showing up under Alderson Farms. And you can see I've got a 0 amount showing up. So now I'm ready to actually create splits. And so you'll see now I have a activated Edit Splits button that I'm going to click on. And the first thing it's going to do is it's going to pull up the master grower information. So this top information is what is actually on the grower statement, with all the products and the quantities listed with the prices and everything right here. Now I'm in a test environment, so some of this data is going to look a little erroneous, as you can see with the average cost, but nonetheless, we'll go through it for demo purposes. So now that I've got my master statement up here with my discounts showing down here. You'll notice at the bottom, the 2 contacts I created are shown in these yellow lines. And to split out the seed, which is the second step in this process, I'm just going to click on one of the contacts, and that's going to expand my name, and it's going to default all the lines that were on the grower statement into this contact with a 0 quantity. And what you'll notice is that once I enter in the quantities that I want to distribute to the contacts, I can do 10, I can do 40, I can get rid of a line if I'm going to say this contact's not going to have any of that product, but another contact may get all of that product. That's fine. I'll get rid of that one. Add a box of beans here and a box of beans here. And now that's all the seed that I want to distribute down to this contact. And the unit price is defaulted from the grower statement, but I have the ability to edit that price as well if I want at the contact level. Now, the next thing I'll do is I'll recalculate and save this contact statement. What that's going to do is going to take all of these units that I've just distributed down to the grower contact, and it's going to pull them off of the original order, and it's going to show me how many I have left to bill. So in this case, I actually over extended on these 2 products from what I actually had on the original quantity, and so it's going to show that way in red. So if I open my contact back up, I entered too many in, so I'll just take these down to 10 and recalculate that so I'm not overextended. And now when it comes back up here, now I'm back within my tolerance of my original quantity, and then it shows you how many you have left to bill. So it takes off the quantities that you've billed out already. So on my contact statement, you can see that I've got my volume and local discounts showing. So 3% and 7%. So this is a retained grower. I can change these percentages on the contact level if I want. I'm just going to leave them as they are. And so now you can see in the contact area, I've got my subtotal, my discounts, my total, and I can actually enter a payment. So if this contact has paid in full, I'll just enter that full amount there, and then I'll save it. And that's going to come into play on the dashboard screen once we get to that point. So to get back to the dashboard from here, I'm just going to click on the back button. Now that I'm done managing that seed down to that contact, it's going to just warn me that if I go back, it's not going to save anything since the last time I recalculated. That's fine because I already hit that button. And now you can see that on my individual contact line, the amount that was billed out to me was this $17,460. I entered in a payment of $17,460, and I have a 0 balance left for Casey Vulcan as the contact. And now you can also see that my contact paid amount is a summed up quantity of all my contacts. So in this case, that value is just coming up here. So you take my total billed amount at the grower level minus how much has been paid by the contacts, and you can see the balance left to bill out at this contact level. You'll also see that I've got an icon for a statement on the right hand side. And so if I wanted to view that contact statement, I can click on that button, and it's going to open a new tab it's called Formula, which is the technology that we're using to create these. And so you open a new tab and it'll pull up the statement for that contact. You'll notice that contact name, myself, with my address that I entered, my phone number, and I didn't enter an email address. But it's got all the quantities that I entered with the discount and the payment actually showing here with the balance due. And so that's the information I entered. The only other thing I can do here is I can download this as a PDF. This is in view mode. I can download it as a PDF. And since I'm in Chrome, you can see it pops up at the lower left-hand side of the screen. And then you can open that contact statement as a PDF. And that is how you manage the splits within CropEdge.